Greetings, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora in this channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to give the video a big thumbs up and share the broadcast. That way, family, more notifications are generated and folks will know that we're here. Thank you so much, family. Now, many of you by now probably have likely heard about Muslim Asian American Zohran Mamdani. I gave him another name already, but I'm just going to leave that alone for right now. But anyway, he won. He's the new mayor of New York. Yes, we know that New York is very, very consequential, not only because it is a very densely populated, a very so-called rich, but also a lot of poor people there as well. But it's a concentration of a lot of the world's billionaires, but also it is not only sort of a de facto capital in the United States, it's really a de facto capital of the world because of high-level influencers, business folks, and world leaders and diplomats and stuff like that's in that city. Yes. So it's a very, very, very power-centered city. So the fact that he, such a young man, saying that he's a Democrat socialist, has become the mayor, notwithstanding all the millions of dollars that was spent against him, is really saying something. Now, there's a lot of suspicious and suspect things that he's doing right now. But for Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, we really need to understand and decide whether or not does that matter to us. Because anybody that's not talking about specifically righting the wrongs that's taking place with us, which is to target our disenfranchisement over many centuries, what's that got to do with us? You just want us to be excited that everybody else is going to get some tangibles. Now, I'm going to be talking more about that in the upcoming days. But I want you to pay attention to a little excerpt, a very short portion of something that he said during his victory speech. Watch this.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. Taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks. We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed. New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. Trump, when I say this, to get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
No, sir, that's a lie. Somebody said that's a lie. That's a lie. You lying right there. Now, I appreciate some of the other stuff that he said about taxing the wealthy and people getting over and all that stuff. But stop lying right there. Stop lying about the fact that immigrants built New York. This is something that I have been countering, family, because other Democrats have said similar things about immigrants building the United States. Now, notice he, as well as other Democrats, they don't like to distinguish between legal migrants and immigrants and the illegal ones. That's a problem because they want us to bottle them all up, cocktail them all up, because there are contrary political and geopolitical interests for which both parties want unlawful illegal migrants in the country. Some of them want them to be soldiers. so they can fight their wars and shed blood, because America knows that she's short on registrations for military soldiers. Some of them want them to help white folks have babies, and so that the babies are not as dark as America want them to be. This is something that actual Democrat long-term serving Senator Chuck Schumer said. He literally said that there's a group of folks in our population, white folks he was referring to, that's not having babies like they used to. He said that's why he thinks all 11 million. And he said not only all 11 million, he said, but however many of them are here. That's why we need to give them legal status. So I want you all to understand that they intentionally want us, and those are just two Democrats that made those statements. Dick Durbin is a high-ranking long-term senator that made the statements about using them to become soldiers, because we don't have enough soldiers in the United States anymore. Not to mention the Republicans' contrary and contradictory position on immigrants here. They believe in the white immigrants. They believe in the Ukrainian immigrants. They believe in a lot of illegal ones that come from Europe and other places. They be pretending with us. Trump built a lot of his stuff related to these migrants and stuff. It's a lot of shady stuff that's going on with them. So, but both sides are really suspect. And don't forget, some of the major legislation in recent history, and it's not really recent, but after the 60s, when a piece of major migrant immigration legislation was passed, that was on the heels of the civil rights movement. We helped to give the momentum for that immigration bill that passed in the 60s. Well, the other major one that passed after that was during Ronald Reagan's time. He's a Republican. He helped to give migrants a big step up in the United States with that legislation. That's the reason why you find a lot of them that love Ronald Reagan and the Republicans. A lot of folks don't understand it. That's because the Republicans are the one that hooked them up. So they both playing this weird little game. Now keep that in mind with the statement that Mr. Mamdani made. It's one thing to say that immigrants contribute to the success or the continued success or even the maintenance of New York. But it's a whole other thing to give the impression that they built this. And you better watch your mouth. And you better tread very, very carefully in what you say. The reason the language is important, that we get real clear, family, is because this is why they've justified making us wait for tangibles and put everybody else before us. This is the reason why they want us up in a stir related to ICE. They want to make sure that their records are clear so they can get jobs and government assistance and contracts and tangibles, while they spit in our face, meaning the whole of America, not just migrants, but while everybody tells us to keep waiting or we don't deserve or need reparations. When you make them think or keep the lie going that they built, no. Make sure you credit us. You better watch your mouth, Zohran Mamdani. I'm going to leave my name for you alone on this channel right now. But how dare you? Just real quick, y'all know, if you follow me over the years on multiple platforms over the years, you know that I am very serious about being real clear about how we've contributed to this nation. Well, this is the second updated edition of the How White Folks Got So Rich. It's a mini book that you can literally read on your lunch break if you're working a 9 to 5. Just Google it and you can find where you can purchase this with the NOI.org or .com. Just look that up. On page 24 of this book about how white folks got so rich, the subtitle is The Untold Story of America's White Supremacy. I always like to remind folks of this. When, especially Mr. Mamdani, the new mayor, when he says that they built America, they built New York. Watch your mouth. Watch this. Those Africans were by no means savages, meaning the informally enslaved, as has been advanced by historians seeking to justify the atrocity. A close reading of the newspaper advertisements placed by American slave traders reveals that Blacks were skilled artisans and craftsmen at the highest level. Slave, sell, ads placed in American newspapers show the casual selling of Africans with skills, listen, as engineers, carpenters, cowboys, shipbuilders, herbalists, weavers, shoemakers, and chefs. Black slave laborers built America's infrastructure. I'm going to say that again because y'all get confused. Black slave laborers, that's us and our people, built America's infrastructure, including its buildings, roads, bridges, and railways. Just as they had built the pyramids in Egypt thousands of years before and then gave civilization to the European. Black slaves built the stately mansions that grace southern plantations and the grand churches and synagogues all over America, and they built the president's house and the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Whatever might be credited to white labor was nonetheless financed by profits from the cotton, sugar, and tobacco crops, all made possible by African slave labor. It's so much more that I can prove in no limit of time. But y'all better make sure that y'all get his funny looking self in check. And he better get the language exact, because we don't want you giving nobody the wrong impression. That's how we're always forgotten and deprioritized. The problem with all of America is that you think, whether it's wars, atrocities, the economies, and white folks mad about their food stamps. Let's be real clear. Y'all think other things are more important than the top priority of correcting the injustice to foundational Black Americans. That's the problem with you. You don't understand that it's not only a natural infraction, but it is a spiritual crime. And it is one that has a cumulative snowball effect, which is to say that some of the stuff that you're going through America is because of your failure to do right by us. So you want us to look at the latest atrocities, the latest catastrophes, the latest crisis, and you want us to say, forget our ancestors? No, forget you. Forget you. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. I am so excited. Family, in addition to my monthly low-cost mastermind school called the Vicki Dillard Mystery School, where I teach high-level spiritual principles, where my students have been getting miracles, wonders, all kinds of yummy things have been happening in their lives. I have, in addition to those, created new academies, a 60-day academy just for men called Treasures of Darkness, where I'm going to be focusing on the spiritual aspect of providing and protecting for your households. Some men complain about women, other men take responsibility. And when you tap into your spiritual connections, you'll get unfair advantages. Go to my website at vickiplanet.com. I have also payment plans there. You can learn more about this higher end school for my men. For my women, I have a 90-day course for my women called Isis Goddess Mystery Temple. We're going to be talking about how we use our divine feminine energy to create the life of our dreams and to bless our world and the entire world. You can get the same you can get the link to that one at vickiplanet.com. That's my website. That's vickiplanet.com. Be sure to share this broadcast here from African Diaspora News Channel, and I can't wait to see you again